but he ran Radio City Music Hall when it opened in 1930. And Samuel Rothafel was quite the entertainment entrepreneur. He created the whole movie palace extravaganza with vaudeville shows, and if you think of the Rockettes were something that were at the Roxy Theater, except they were called the Roxyettes. And movie palaces in big cities like New York not only had a 100-piece orchestra. Eugene Ormandy was one of the big conductors of the Movie Palace Orchestra, the Capitol Theater in New York, a very famous orchestra conductor. But they also had a ballet and as well as a precision dance team, and that's what the Rockettes or the Roxyettes were, is a precision dance team. And that's in addition to vaudeville and other kind of performances. Frank Sinatra did some very famous performances in a movie palace in New York near the Roxy Theater called the Paramount. Now, most people, if they're familiar with the Roxy Theater at all, they're familiar with it because of a photograph where Gloria Swanson with a large boa is standing in the middle of the ruins of the Roxy Theater, which was torn down in the late 1960s or early 1970s. So this is our little tribute to to Samuel Rothafel and the Roxy Theater, the Michigan Theater drinking fountain, which actually does not work. The health department made us turn it off because of the bubbler nature of its the way it dispenses water, which doesn't meet modern health codes, alas. So we're in the Ford Gallery of Ann Arbor history, and what you're seeing now is the Michigan sign that was part of the 1950s marquee that was put on. And we're going to take a little walk down the hallway here, and we have a tribute to Ann Arbor and the history of Ann Arbor in various aspects here. Over here you see a tribute to the movie theaters that we were talking about before. There's the Star Theater, there's the Worth, there's the Orpheum Theater. If we look on over this way, if we look at the opposite side of the wall, here's a tribute to some of our early settlers. You may know some of them because of streets. Kingsley, Maynard, and Daniel Brown was an important part of Ann Arbor history. And you can actually look up these panels at the Ann Arbor District Library. And this is a celebration of Ann Arbor history that celebrates groups of people, people who were interested in music, the Musical Society, and various other folks. There's a panel on the opposite side of the wall that talks about the university. When it came to Ann Arbor, there was a few years that the university was not in Ann Arbor. And when you're coming down to the Michigan Theater sometime, take some time and wander through the Ford Gallery of Ann Arbor founders, and you can learn a little bit about Ann Arbor history and the history of the Michigan Theater as well. And we're going to take our next little side trip to the Michigan Theater screening room, which is a space that's relatively new, especially compared to the Michigan Theater. What you're looking at right now is a mural that's in the screening room, and this is a mural of theaters in the Ann Arbor, Ypsilanti area. Most of them are gone at this point or reused for something else, and we've already talked about the Orpheum and the Worth and the Whitney Theater, which was also known as the Ann Arbor Opera House, the Majestic and the Arcade Theater, and there's even a picture of the Star Theater riot. So when you come into the screening room of the Michigan Theater, look up on the top half of the walls on both sides, and you can see these representation of these historic theaters. The screening room was built in 1999, and it's frequently known as the Smokler screening room because Irv Smokler, who was the chair of the theater, helped us to focus on film as a primary product that we could offer the community, and he also helped in terms of providing funding and the land to build this screening room on. The screening room seats 200, the Michigan Theater seats 700. 1700. And the screening room shows films every day of the week. It's a modern movie theater that has a wonderful surround sound, 6-channel modern motion picture sound. It's got a big screen. It's a 28-foot screen. It's only 7 feet smaller than the Michigan Theater's 35-foot screen. And we even have a wonderful organ in here. It's not a big pipe organ like the Michigan Theater's. It's a Hammond organ, but it's a classic, and it's has the same kind of electronics as the Hammond B3, which is the type of organ that rock musicians and jazz musicians tend to like. So if you are coming down to the Michigan Theater and you find yourself coming to a film in the screening room, you're in probably the best motion picture theater in Ann Arbor in terms of its scale, its proportional representation to the size of the screen and the size of the room, and the acoustical layout for the presentation of motion pictures. And we'll hope you come to the Michigan Theater. And it is the community's auditorium, and we're very, very pleased that the Community Access Television decided to do a little piece on the Michigan Theater, and we'll hope to see you at the Michigan Theater sometime soon.
All of us at Welcome to Washtenaw would like to thank again Mr. Russ Collins for his extensive tour of the inside of the Michigan Theater. For Welcome to Washtenaw, until next time, I'm James Trost.